Good morning. My name is Larry Gallegos. I'm representing CETA Redevelopment. We will be funding a number of large projects, hopefully, if this redevelopment issue with the state is resolved and there's some reforms rather than just outright elimination of the entire agencies throughout the state here. But essentially we cover everything from TOD projects to like 81st Avenue Library to infrastructure. TOD projects are transit-oriented developments.
Housing along the main thoroughfares.
Essentially everything that you would want to have along major transportation networks such as the BART stations. We fund those activities as well as infrastructure improvements such as the streetscapes that will be occurring here right on 66th Avenue, as well as some of the improvements that we've made throughout the years such as on Saliendro Street. So a number of different types of projects, and I'll be out in the Spanish facilitating breakout session. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joe DeVries. I am also not a department head, nor do I play one on TV. But I am a supervisor in the Neighborhood Services Division, and we provide training for Neighborhood Watch. Our goal is to have a Neighborhood Watch group on every block in the city of Oakland. We also facilitate the Neighborhood Council, so we really encourage you to get to know your neighbors, get involved with your neighborhood. Neighbors that know each other live in safer neighborhoods. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Angela Jenkins. I'm not a department head either. I work for Kaiser Permanente, and we provide community grants to nonprofit organizations, and we also provided a grant to the school district to expand the school-based health centers, as well as to support a mentoring program for young men who are at risk of dropping out of school. I'm going to sit in the health area because we provide, through my department, I'm the community benefit manager for Oakland. We'll be providing grants in the future for obesity prevention, violence prevention, as well as improving perinatal health. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm going to be introducing some of the other nonprofits later, but I just wanted you to meet them. Assistant Chief Howard Jordan is at another meeting. We'll be here hopefully in time for the breakouts. You'll recognize him. He usually wears his uniform, and I was hoping one or two of the beat officers would join us, but we'll see. It's been a busy day, and you know we have less officers than we usually have. Just quickly before we break out, there's a few people I want to introduce, and the first one is Jana Lane. She's a retired Skyline teacher, and if you got a phone call to remind you to come, she's responsible for that. And by the way, the sign-up table just told me we just beat West Oakland. We're over 220 people. So that's pretty good on a sunny day in East Oakland. Jana.
Good morning. I have a little assignment for you. I hope you all got this booklet of helpful telephone numbers. We can all remember the last time that we had a problem or a question and we wondered, who do I call? Who do I connect with? Where do I get help? This will provide you with either the answer or the road to finding your answer. So it covers the city government, California, Alameda County, the United States, and gives you phone numbers for the city departments. The only thing not in here is our school board members. So I'm just going to ask our board member, Chris Dobbins, to raise his hand. You can look in the phone book under Oakland Public Schools, ask for Chris, and he can help you. But this little booklet has a green cover. It's a gold mine. Keep it by your phone.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're going to let Chris say hello in a minute. Next, we're going to have the representatives from Block by Block. Now, let me tell you who they are. And I had no idea that my husband was going to be the speaker, but they changed at the last moment. So he and I were sort of a tag team during the election, and I guess we're going to be a tag team today. A lot of politicians, they get elected, and that's it. What I've tried to do, and what they actually insisted on doing, we wouldn't have won without an amazing grassroots organization of 1,000 volunteers. 150 or so of the hardiest volunteers have formed a membership organization to continue to organize in the community. And I guess today, Dr. Floyd Hewen, also known as his honors wife, her honors husband, sorry, maybe wife, who knows, is going to tell you a little bit about Block by Block.
Thank you very much. Aaliyah Carney, are you here? Come. She was supposed to do this and she wasn't sure what to say, so I want to make sure you know. This is a grassroots organization. We're completely dedicated to the youth of Oakland. We treat every one of these like our kids. That's the whole point. You want to stop crime, you want to stop dropouts, you got to put your arms around every single kid in the city. It's really simple. It's not rocket science, so let's do that. So the Block by Block organizing network is essentially the committed volunteers from the campaign who are by themselves all neighborhood leaders already, formed this organization, and there's a purple sign-up sheet in the table right behind Joe DeVries' wonderful map. If you're interested in joining Block by Block. We meet every month in different parts of the city, and I encourage you to join us. Each district has its own organization, and for example, all the outreach that was done for today's meeting was done by the Block by Block District 6 Leadership Group. So I want to ask all the Block by Block members to stand up, please, including the youth. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so we're heading out very quickly to that, but there were a couple Block by Block people who live in District 6 who I just have to thank personally before we break up, and before I introduce Chris Dobbins, who's your school board member. Karen King, who's the leader of Emma, is trying to redevelop the part of MacArthur, the Merchants Group. Is she back there? Marilyn Lawson, who is the major mom at Lions Creek. Where is she? Also back there. All right. You met the two young people, Angel and Aliyah. Stand up. These are our youth leaders. Okay. Kim Miller, real estate agent, but great community organizer and musician. Dr. Vicki Alexander, great Maxwell Park leader. Wanda Johnson, is she still here? No, okay. You already met John Elaine, a great teacher and continues to volunteer and keeps going. Etheline, please stand up. We may have seen her, if you got a campaign piece of me, her block, for the last 10 years, in the middle of the worst crime in East Oakland, had one crime in 10 years because her block is so organized, and they passed on the homes generation to generation. They're so tight that when I came to meet with her, there was like rainy day, two people there. I said, oh, well, small turnout. She got on the phone within 15 minutes. Her living room was full of 20 people. It's the kind of block we have to have throughout Oakland, a block that takes care of each other, that knows each other generation to generation, and in the toughest neighborhood, make sure no crime happens and everyone's safe. Is Jose here yet? Jose Dorado was the former chair of the Maxwell Park. I know he had a business thing, huh? And he's still the chair. Maxwell Park Neighborhood Crime Prevention Council, one of the most organized. This is what we're all going after. They have 83 block captains in their beat. Karen Smolovich, okay, in the hallway. And then lastly, Evans Daniels, who walks with me almost in every precinct in the city. Not here, maybe working today. Okay, so thank you. Those are the individuals who made this happen. And we are now going to have a short word from Chris Dobbins, who's your school board member, who's our partner.
Right, thank you very much, Mayor Quan. Give a big round for the mayor, huh? Coming down East Oakland? All right. So I'm Chris Dobbins. I'm a school board representative for the 16 schools here in District 6 that stretch from Skyline High School over here to Melrose out on 52nd out to Webster, or it's now called Pride of Webster, and all the schools in between. We're very excited the mayor is coming today. If you're an educator, as we heard from Ms. Stewart and Mr. Dobbins-Speck, we are very excited about this block right here on 66th and International. As you heard earlier, we have 5 schools from, ages 3, roughly 3, 4, all the way up to high school. Next year, we're opening our 12th grade here. So we're having a whole education, over 1,000 students here. So if you're a student at this school, if you're a parent, a teacher, an educator, please stand up. We want to recognize all the people here on 66th and International. Stand up. I used to teach here. I taught next door at Lockwood. My mother taught at Lockwood for 9 years. We've seen the growth and development. We're very excited what's happening here in our schools in Oakland. Now, I want to recognize a couple people. As you can see, it's a really nice auditorium, and when I talked to Dr. Hewen about where we're going to have this meeting, I said, you got to come to the new redeveloped Havens Court campus. I want to recognize Mr. Dan Siegel, who's on the board. Dan, stand up. Come on. Longtime Oakland attorney, activist, school board member. He got the funding to develop this, because when I was teaching here, the place was in shambles, so we thank you for that. We're also excited to have another District 6 resident, who's our city auditor, is in the house today. Ms. Courtney Ruby lives right up the street in District 6, and she supports education. Very excited. All kidding aside, it's very serious times in the Oakland Unified School District. As you probably heard last year, we had to cut $120 million from our budget. We had to lay off 650 people. There's potential if these budget cuts, budget extensions don't go through from the state level, we're going to have to take much more serious cuts. We are currently being funded at $2,005. And if we don't, we have done our analysis that if the tax extensions do not go through in June by Governor Brown, we're going to lose an additional $900. So our funding should be, we realize if these extensions do not go through, we're going to be roughly about $1,600 less per student. All right, let me say it again, $1,600 less per student. So we need your help to get out and get to your legislators to make sure these tax extensions are passed. With that, we've still been, Oakland Unified, the most improved school district 6 years in a row. So give it up for Oakland, California. We've already heard from Ms. Stewart and Mr. Dobbins-Speck, Ms. Moreno, I don't know if she's in the audience. She's the principal at Community United. And Mr. Townsend, the principal here, could not be here today. We have a lot of the vice principals here. Our chief is here, Chief Sarna. Give it up real quick, Chief. Lieutenant Fajardo's in the back. And I want to thank my staff. You guys, if you drove in, you saw Ignacio Ortiz, the Nacho Man. He's been my field coordinator. Charles helping him out. We have Deja in the front, Yasmin in the back there, and my assistant, Ms. Kamaria Pinckney. Kamaria, raise your hand. If you have questions about the school board, talk to her. I took more than 2 minutes, but thank you very much. Okay. All right.